She's dead. Wrapped in plastic.
Welcome to the Twin Peaks Podcast.
Damn good coffee. And hot. Would everyone please take a seat?
Welcome everybody to episode 14 of the Twin Peaks Podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Melanie.
I'm Brad.
I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Alirio.
Yay!
First return guest, Alirio.
Yay.
Alirio is from the PotentialCast. Do you want to explain it or wait till the end and then explain it?
Because of a time machine, we stole your concept. And so we have three neophytes and one veteran viewer of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and we're doing an episode-by-episode retrospective. We are up to Season 3, Episode 17, Enemies.
So you stole our format. I'm more original than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually my format for when we talked about Charles in Charge. Back on Ramjack, but you know, it's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You have another ridiculous iTunes summary for us, Brad?
I'm sorry, Netflix, ridiculous Netflix.
Netflix.
You want to give the proper ridiculous credit where it goes.
Okay.
This is Season 2, Episode 6, Demons. Cooper and Truman raid One-Eyed Jacks, and Shelley and Bobby hold a welcome home party for Leo. It's half right.
Yeah. What? Did it say they raid One-Eyed Jacks?
It already did.
Yeah, that was last episode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a terrible description.
But don't you remember last week, Don and Maddie's plan to steal Laura's diary was among the plot developments?
Descriptione ridiculum.
Bravo.
Is that Latin?
I made up Latin.
So we start off and Harold is sad because Donna's unclean.
Which makes him feel unclean.
Yeah.
Harold Smith is someone that I encountered on this TV show in the very early 90s. But in university, I met someone who's his splitting image.
Oh, disturbing.
Was he?
Very. And I rather spend time with Harold Smith.
Oh. That's saying a lot.
No. Christophe is an awesome guy. It's weird when you meet someone who says, "Hi, I'm Christophe. I play the bagpipes." And, yeah. So if he asks you to look under his kilt, just don't. But yeah, ever since my rewatch of last year and now rewatching the episode again, it's Christophe.
Nice.
My goodness, it's remarkable.
So we get the reason that James. We were all wondering why it was showing James last episode because he was seeming useless, but it was just to build up that he's going to come save the day today.
Yeah, it was, but again, James followed Maddie all the way out there, waited out in the bushes for hours on end, and then after Maddie went in, followed?
Yeah, he didn't stop her, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. You should have at least kept Maddie company in the bushes.
Yeah. At least like, hey.
Creepily watching her the whole time.
Yeah, he was probably just breathing down her neck. They should have shown a shot of him just kind of being all creepo in the trees or something.
That's so much creepier than Harold Smith.
It is.
Yes, because at least Harold Smith is just in his house.
Right.
Yeah, all this trouble, all that kerfuffle, and they don't get the diary. What a bunch of losers.
There's no reason they shouldn't have gotten that diary.
He's a bloody shut-in.
Yeah.
His muscles are probably all atrophied.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can't believe Donna couldn't have won a little tug of war with him.
Just walk in there with a UV light and blind him and incapacitate him.
I can't believe Donna and Maddie are so frightened as well. They're just like standing in the corner cowering.
Well, he does have a claw.
It's a garden tool.
Did you see the damage?
I let my children play with those.
Yeah, it did some terrible damage to his face.
Yes,
Scarred for life. He's gonna
You
need
need to really work for it.
you really, yes. That probably took all his energy out of him too, for breaking the skin with that thing.
Yeah. So then James says something I never thought I'd see him say. Let's go to the sheriff.
Well, can I point out something about James I noticed in this little scene?
What?
Okay, so they're running out of Harold Smith's place, and clearly, Maddie's running. Maddie gets out the door first, and then Donna gets pulled back by Harold Smith for a second. But then James pulls her away, and she's running. So James is the last person in the line of people running. When we cut to outside, James has run in front of the girl.
He's pushed him out of his way.
I don't necessarily believe in chivalry, but I don't know about that, James.
Yeah. Can I just say one thing about Harold Smith?
Yes.
Atomizer, engage! It's the fact that he's trying to get over this entire situation and just grabs his little atomizer and is desperately trying to console himself by spraying his flowers with what is in the atomizer. And it just seemed like I have to go to what I know. I just have to work. Yes, they're unclean.
But it is to no avail.
Oh,
I
Harold.
like it kind of turned into a wolf there. It's like, no!
That sounded a lot like Bob.
Yeah.
He's like,
But Donna and James made up.
Well, it seems to me, I don't know about you guys, but it seems to me like Donna kind of used that situation as a ploy to kind of get James to like her again, or to kind of just, hold me, James, hold me. Yes, that's right.
That entire subplot, if it could even be called that, was just to get James to like her again.
Yeah.
To notice her.
It's so weird. I don't understand it all.
You've never been that desperate for attention, Brad.
I haven't at all.
Hold me.
They bring Audrey back to the bookhouse.
Because a hospital isn't what she needs.
Nope.
Exactly.
That
is the bookhouse.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Did they even invite Doc Hayward over?
Nope.
No. Oh, I guess Coop's got it handled.
Yep.
Well, I mean, she just was in that close from a heroin overdose. Do you really need to bother a doctor?
How close, Coop? How close?
That close.
How close?
I measured it with my
It's like a finger's length.
my Coop skills.
It was a finger's length.
Yes.
Thank God we have opposable thumbs so that we can measure how close we are to lethal doses of heroin.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Giant told him.
But for a giant, wouldn't that be a lot further away from a lethal dose?
That is the problem with giant measurements.
How the hell is Coop the best lawman Harry has ever known?
Well, Harry has very low standards, I think.
He needs to get out and
He
meet
probably
more
hasn't.
lawmen.
Yes.
He's
he probably
never looked
hasn't
Hawk eye to eye. This is when Harry says, my favorite line, you think too much. Cooper thinks too much? When the hell did this happen? Ever?
It doesn't think things through, but he's daydreaming a lot, which is kind of like thinking.
I think
It is
that's
thinking.
the kind of thinking he's talking about.
He's always looking for a deeper meaning.
Yeah.
But
He's always analyzing things.
Yes.
Analyzes
He
a lot.
finds things.
Is that what Audrey told you?
It might not make much sense what he's analyzing. Like, his methods might not be the best, but,
Oh, and also in that scene, Harry actually did some research.
He has to ID Jean Renault the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, that's the first. I'm serious. I'm pretty sure that's the first bit of detective work he's done in the series, or policing, besides just interviewing people in a holding cell or whatever.
Yeah, but that's probably because when they figured out Jacques Renault was connected to all this, Hawk pointed out that his brother had been arrested.
Probably.
And Harry just forgot all about it.
Yeah, and that that album of mugshots was actually bookmarked to that page with a feather.
Yes.
They just cut that scene. Hawk did all the footwork.
Oh, I had one other note about James and Donna. James reiterated his love for Donna there. Do you think that's the last of his infidelity?
I would hope so.
I would hope so too.
I mean, how many more women are there in town?
Yeah, precisely. Seriously, I am done with James.
Okay, let's try to not mention him the rest of the podcast.
Good. Who?
I don't know. What just
I
happened?
don't think so. Good luck.
I'm checking in my notes to see if he appears again.
Did you guys notice just how many bikes there were outside of the bookhouse
8?
meeting place? There's I counted 9. So
I thought
I
it was
think it's
at
a
the bar at
requirement.
What was that?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, I thought it was at the bar at first because there were so many bikes.
Yeah, sometimes I get the bar and the bookhouse mixed up.
It must be a requirement that anyone who is a bookhouse boy has to have a bike.
It seems like there's a few lawmen leading this, team of bikers, like teenage bikers at that. And that's the
Yeah.
bookhouse boys.
Well, otherwise they'd be the bookhouse men.
Yeah, we got But we got to see Joey Paulson again.
Yay, Joey!
Oh, we've missed you.
He was just barely in it.
He's probably working with Hawk.
Probably. They're getting things done. Ben is happy. He gets his money and his daughter.
Is anybody else confused as to why he would just not insist on seeing his daughter? I would have insisted on seeing my daughter.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Cooper.
After he got shot down once, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, who are you to tell me I'm going to see my daughter? Thank you very much.
He's not.
But again, I'm not a scoundrel.
Yeah.
I don't think he really cares.
Well,
Probably.
he sort of seemed to he seemed to genuinely care more this episode, but at the same time he still had that, dual, do I care more about my daughter or my money right now?
Yeah.
He's still kind of fighting with himself there.
And he was also seemed paranoid that she might have told Cooper something
Yeah.
once he found out that she was at One-Eyed Jack's.
Yeah.
I don't think he has too many suspicions about her because she was like hinting at him the whole time, and he's just like not really responding. Like he thought that she knew very much.
Leo is home.
Yeah.
We have another one of our long drawn out scenes of awkwardness.
Yes. Can I just state that there were too many plaid jackets
Yes, I thought that
Yes.
too.
in this scene?
It was just too much for my eyes.
It was just awful.
But they're red, yellow, and green.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Maybe you just did Claire's work for her.
It was nice seeing Mr. Pith again.
yeah, Mr. Pitt from Seinfeld. Yes.
Mm-hmm. 700
Okay, so-
bucks?
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
not
it's not good.
good. That's why you need socialized medicine.
Yes. But they thought they were going to get $5,000 a month.
Yeah,
That seems like a lot.
it does. Well,
Well, they're young and stupid, right?
exactly.
I think this scene is supposed to reinforce this to us.
But even the fact that there was an insurance policy that would pay $5,000 a month, that just sounds amazing. I don't know how you get that policy.
Yes.
Maybe
I
he
really
met
like
an
one.
insurance broker through Fleshworld.
That makes sense.
You got any notes, Caitlin, here?
No, yeah, not in this part, but later on with.
I have one note
Alirio.
Okay.
left in this scene. Did you make a yummy sound?
What?
Well, Leo goes,
Oh, yeah.
He sounds like a caveman.
it's a yummy sound.
He's going to be a Frankenstein before it's all said and done.
I can't wait. That would be awesome.
I wonder if you can donate your body to science when you're in a coma.
Don't think so.
That seems a bit unethical.
You never know, though. It is Twin Peaks.
Yeah. How does Doc Hayward get so good at everything?
Just kidnaps people who are in comas.
That's right.
That's why he's a coma specialist.
Yeah.
He actually induces all those comas so he can study them.
Bastard.
All right. What do you
Let's
guys?
get to where Harry scolds Donna.
Yeah. Had it up
This-
to your games.
Leave the detective work to me. I mean Hawk. I mean me.
Like, I complain about how bad Harry is at his job a lot. But she's giving him evidence.
Yeah.
And I'm not really sure which one of them is worse, because at some point he says, did you actually see the diary? And she says no. And that's not true.
Yeah.
And there's no reason for her to say that, and I don't understand. Like, there's no reason for this to be a complication at all.
Yeah.
There's a diary, there's a guy that has it, Harry should want the diary, she should want to have him get the diary, but none of that's happening.
Yeah.
Yes, but then it wouldn't be an interesting show, would it?
It would be very interesting.
Just let the police do their work.
You need conflict, no matter how stupid it is.
Conflict is the police going to Harold Smith's house and him trying to fight them off with that little thing.
A little handbrake.
It would be bloody.
Like Andy's tackling him,
Andy.
Hawk's trying to get the book. They can't find it in the shelf. That's conflict. Harry not knowing how to do his job and Donna not knowing how to talk to humans. That's not
buffoonery.
conflict.
That's just not some very good work by Harry there.
Yeah.
Even though, they did mess up with Jacoby, they were actually on the right track, and you can see that every lead that Donna and James were following was a legitimate lead.
One of my favorite characters, Gordon Cole, comes in.
Ooh. What? I have these 50-year-old hearing aid. And it's cranked up to the max. It was a family heirloom.
So bizarre.
So, Claire was talking to me on Skype the other day, Brad, and she said you're iffy on Gordon.
I'm just not sure yet. I mean,
Yeah, but you don't like Cooper either.
I don't like Cooper, but I feel like, I don't know, Gordon could be amusing. Like, I find Andy amusing now, but I didn't at first.
Yeah.
It's gonna ride that line between annoying and amusing.
Yeah. I definitely find him amusing.
It's David Lynch. What's not to love?
I love him.
I think he provides some needed comic relief, but
Yeah.
I don't think they should have him too much.
Oh, yeah.
He reminds me of Maxwell Smart from Get Smart.
Oh, that's what missed it by that much. This far away from an overdose.
Yeah.
It's a nice tie-in.
But yeah, I would definitely like to see a spin-off with Cooper, Gordon, and Albert.
Albert.
Yeah, it's so awesome.
They're probably three of my favorite characters. Who knew the FBI was so, had such eccentric people in it?
Yeah.
I wonder if it's like that in real life.
Probably not. They're probably all very boring.
Yes.
Most of them are just criminalists.
Well, I choose to think the FBI is full.
Dream your dream. Dream your dream.
Gordon Cole says something that I found distressing.
Okay.
Albert isn't coming back!
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't like this news at all.
Yeah.
I hope this is not true.
He's lying.
Bastard!
That would be sad for me.
What the hell is Vicuna?
I looked it up. I just looked it up. It's a type of a llama. Appropriately enough, because remember that encounter with Cooper and the llama?
Yes.
Dolly the llama?
With Weeks After Dark.
Yeah.
They're like tiny versions and they live in the Andes.
Yeah.
But what was
like Andy.
But what was that about? So there was
Fibers from a vicuna coat outside of Cooper's room.
and a mystery syringe, and papers were from a diary.
Papers were from a diary. That's very specific.
Yeah.
Vicuna, that's very specific too.
Well, you could find that out through testing, but how would you know it's a diary paper?
But who wears like a fancy, South American llama coat?
I don't know. Find that.
Fancy South Americans.
Yeah. Oh no, not the South Americans too. The Asians
The
involved.
Norwegians.
The Norwegians.
The Icelanders. Fancy South Americans.
So many people to offend.
The French Canadians are pissed off.
Speaking of offending people, there's the one armor now. I'm sorry, I stole that.
That was brilliant.
Oh,
What if they kill someone?
A one armor.
Hey, you dirty one armor.
It really did sound almost offensive when he said that.
yes.
But the one armor begs the question: is selling shoes against the law?
They never gave him an answer for that, did they?
They never did.
I'm gonna
He's all
assume it.
set up.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume it is against the law.
Probably.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I've got to go here one more time.
Okay.
Again, discussing the hierarchy of the police system in Twin Peaks. But, so Hawk came in and saved them at One-Eyed Jack's last night.
Mm-hmm.
Then, apparently, okay, this seems like early morning.
Yeah.
Apparently, between then and now, he's tracked down the one-armed man and brought him into justice.
Yes.
Harry's interviewed Donna
And flipped through.
and had a cup of coffee. Yeah.
we see someone else at the front desk, someone else on the force. I'd like to think that since we didn't see Andy in this episode, he's gone after Lucy.
Nice.
Move on to Audrey and her dad.
Not happy to see her papa.
No.
Too much, no.
Don't touch me, you creepy pervert.
Yeah, her sarcasm isn't very subtle.
Yeah.
That's right. I learned a lot.
Well, if I were her, I would be freaking out and wouldn't want him anywhere near me. Kudos for her for her self-control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk, you and I.
Dad, I don't feel comfortable around you anymore unless I have a mask. I mean, nothing.
Or Ben doesn't want Audrey to get a ride with Cooper, I think, again, because he's afraid of what she'll tell him.
Or he knows that there's something between them, perhaps.
Possibly, but I thought it was because he was worried she found out something.
I thought it was because of both of those things. A little both. Because he knows that Audrey likes Cooper and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he cares who his daughter has a relationship with, but he's probably more concerned about getting in trouble with the law.
Maybe.
So they all go together.
It must have been a half-hour ride back.
Yeah.
What station do you think you listen to on the radio?
Sad country and western.
The music of pain.
Yes.
So this is we move on to Nadine.
I love Nadine so much.
I do too.
I know that you don't.
You guys love
Nadine,
her?
You don't much care for her. I love Nadine.
Oh no, you're a robot. You're a Cylon.
When
You're a Cylon, Alirio.
I am not a Cylon. Hold on. I don't know about Cylon, but I do remember when I originally watched the show when it first aired, and I was a teenager, not really appreciating Nadine very much, but upon rewatch and subsequent rewatch, I love Nadine.
Really?
I think she's awesome.
I do not. Well,
On this show, there's a lot of characters that are subdued, and she's just so full of life that it's quite entertaining to watch her.
I guess that's a good point, but she assaults and rapes Ed here.
Hold on, she assaults him, but we don't see a raping.
But he's clearly not into it.
That's because he has superpowers.
He's just a typical abused husband, isn't he? Yeah, I mean, he gets assaulted, but they didn't show us any actual rape.
Right.
She's still thinking like a high schooler anyways.
With 1 billion ounces of adrenaline, so she's, she's got to be very, 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 very hard to please.
But I love how she's like, she comes home, she's got all her shopping bags, and she's like, assaults Ed, and he's just like helpless. He's wearing a frilly apron, he's working in the kitchen. Did you guys notice that? The apron?
Yes. I love it. The other great thing, I love these scenes, at least the past couple episodes, they've just been like short little scenes of fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, at least they're short, yeah. I got this scene was okay, but usually
That's right.
Usually
Come on.
Yeah.
Open up.
Let Nadine in.
Feel the Christmas in July spirit.
Oh, I want to talk to you guys about that. In Quebec,
Okay.
we have a tradition called Le Noël des Campeurs, which is Campers' Christmas.
Does it happen in July?
Yes, because July is when we have the construction holiday, and most people are on holiday, and they're all off at the different campgrounds, and people have Christmas there. Yeah, and traditionally what we do, or what we did the one time I was involved in such a thing, is you bring a gift nobody would ever want.
That's awesome.
And everybody just kind of randomly, you play a gift game, and you basically get stuff. One year I got a wooden cannon porch ornament.
Oh, nice.
One of my friends got a used porno tape.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Used up porno. That's the worst.
Yeah,
No.
I know, it is the worst. And I believe another friend of mine got an expired beer making kit. So yeah, it's kind of it's not so much Yankee swap as Confederate swap.
Kimmy Robertson posted on that thread in our Facebook about Christmas in July, and said she does all her shopping on Christmas in July because it's
Nice.
good deals apparently.
That's brilliant.
Good going, Lucy.
Lucy. Can we talk about Josie and how she's a whore?
Yeah.
And how she's... Well, probably not her real cousin.
Josie, you whore.
But she's kind of being incestuous if it is her cousin.
Yeah.
Something tells me Oddjob is not her cousin.
Yeah. But if it is, yeah, it's incest.
But
Also,
it's her cousin. I do, however, wonder why Oddjob's accent keeps changing.
yeah. Okay, so you remember earlier I said Josie had, back in the day when Josie had Harry's hair?
Yes.
She clearly has Cooper's hair now.
yeah. Does she wear it better than Coop though?
No.
No.
It's just to make Harry jealous.
And can I say that Josie is obsessed with arrangements? We had an arrangement. We had an arrangement.
We had a deal.
Shut up with your arrangements.
She's losing ground. She's desperate.
Arrange this.
That's all I have. It's such an elaborate plot. I wish I understood what the hell this was all about.
Me too.
After now watching this series 2.5 times, hold on to that wish.
Yeah.
You're still
That's
not.
what I was feeling.
I mean, I get it. I do get the whole plot of that whole thing. It's just unnecessarily complicated
Yeah.
without being too spoilery.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a spoiler. If that's a spoiler, then so be it.
Yes, but the complications make it ever so entertaining. Sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just feels so ridiculously shoehorned in.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like in the beginning, you know, way back in the pilot and things, they laid down some groundwork that there could be something mysterious to her, just so they could have that. But this season, we come back and it's too big. It's way too big. There's no way it fits at all.
Okay.
Well, it does give Joan Chen an opportunity to overact. But we'll get to that a little later.
I've never seen her in anything else.
She was in it's actually a pretty famous movie. It was an all-Asian cast, very popular in the States.
Joy Luck Club?
Joy Luck Club.
Oh, really? I've never seen that.
We were watching some special features on the DVDs, like with interviews with the actors, like more recent ones, and, you know, everybody's aged and stuff. But when it came to her interview, I was like, wow, she looks pretty much the same. No, wait a second. She's just been soft-focused into oblivion.
Yeah.
I love it when they do that. I love it.
All right.
She has to leave.
Maddie's leaving.
Wait, no.
What?
Josie has to leave
Josie has to go.
with
Yeah.
the assistant or Jonathan or whoever he is.
Jonathan!
Yeah.
That's Jonathan. Surprise!
That's
Spoiler.
Joe.
We have our own Jonathan.
Awesome.
It's just one giant crossover.
Yeah. Yeah, so now
Maddie decides to go
Maddie's leaving.
when she has
Is
that
she going
conversation
to?
with the unnamed man.
Please tell me she's really gonna go.
I think, Brad, she's really gonna go.
She was only here for the funeral, after all.
I know.
How long did she end up staying? A week and a half? Maybe?
Something like that, like 10 days.
Something like that, yeah.
Come for the funeral, stay for the awkwardness.
Well, she was around long enough that we got to see Laura Palmer's dead body as much as we needed to.
So you're not a Maddie fan?
Well, what has she done? She has seen Bob. I give her points for that.
Oh, yeah.
I think she's been dragged into situations that are out of her depth by Donna and James, and that none of it is her fault.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't blame her?
No, but I think she's also used to develop a lot of the psychic story,
Yeah.
because she talked about how she had the link with Laura, and
Oh,
they
God.
basically knew each other's thoughts.
My eyes rolled almost as far back as they did when He Who Shall Not Be Named said, I saw Laura when I looked at you. Of course you did! Wake up!
Well, we are identical cousins.
Yes.
Were you guys expecting Donna to show up again when she gave James that look
God.
at the cheek?
I was expecting her to show up when she put her hand on his knee. Did you
Yeah.
see that? And then she was staring at her hand.
It was a little high up on the knee, too.
It was clearly off the patella.
Yeah. I just expected her to show up and just be like, seriously, guys, again?
What is wrong with you people? I'm glad you're here at the lake, because I'm just going to jump in now. Isn't it a little warm to be wearing a leather jacket?
Exactly.
Well, what's the weather like in the Pacific Northwest? It's usually kind of...
Yeah, but this is California.
I know, but it's...
Wait, now, first you guys don't start renumbering your episodes. Now we're calling the Pacific Northwest California.
We're just being real here.
Uh,
It looks really warm.
it did look really warm.
Yeah. I would just like to say that James probably has some of the best lines in this scene ever.
Well, don't.
I'm not gonna say them.
Who?
I'm just saying. Oh, sorry. Mr. J.
Oh yeah. Oh, we said it. Damn it.
Mr. J.
Move on to.
The confrontation
Yeah.
of a lifetime.
Yes.
Where we can actually see that Joan Chen cannot act.
Her
That
face
was
is so confusing.
Some of the worst. They're buried side by side. It was awful. Made me want to vomit.
Yeah.
It is weird.
It was just terrible, terrible, terrible.
Yeah.
Also, her
Yeah.
suit looks like pajamas.
Yes, yes, it does. And frankly, I just want to get to the thing that really befuddled me in this episode. Is it even possible to endorse a $5 million cashier's check by writing the back of it? Like, can you treat it like a check to your cleaning lady?
I don't think so.
I think this is just a suspension of disbelief moment.
SOD!
Or Josie doesn't know what's going on. You know, she's not.
She's not from around here.
Yeah.
I would honestly not be disappointed if Josie just left now and that storyline was suspended. Even though we don't know what would happen, I would not be sad to not see her again.
Yeah.
She was alright at the beginning.
Yeah.
When she was just, having fun with Pete or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Just with the crazy lipstick.
The more we learn, the more we hate.
Yeah.
Isn't it always the way?
Move on to Leo again.
Kazoo time.
Yeah. I love that, yeah. Breathing through the kazoo, it sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
I still have to get a kazoo.
Just go to your nearest Dollarama.
Yeah.
Oh yeah!
They have kazoos.
I'm gonna write that down.
I love all the work they put into decorating for this party.
No. Supposedly tight on money.
Well, that's $700 went a long way.
They're not gonna eat for the rest of the month.
Nope. Who needs to eat when you have booze and cake?
It's true.
Yeah. That was pretty bold of them to try to, well, they're just taunting Leo and, let's do it in front of him.
But this scene reminded me so much, well, I don't know if it's unfortunately, of Weekend at Bernie's. I don't know. It's just...
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's probably just the sunglasses, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How do they feed Leo?
you'll see that later.
You'll see that later, yeah.
Okay.
They do it by dropping his face into cake and hoping
That's feeding time, Leo. They just smash his face into the plate every
I'll
time.
probably just watch a documentary on making pate.
He eats by osmosis.
Yeah.
Uh,
We gotta get all that cake off his face. Oh wait, where'd it go?
Leo moves.
Yeah, that was kind of creepy, actually.
That was very creepy.
Indeed.
You think that was just her mind, or did he actually look at her?
I saw a move.
Well, I know, but were we seeing her crazy vision, or did he really move?
I think Leo moved. Yeah, I think
I hope
Leo
he moved.
I think Bobby and Shelley are gonna get exactly what they deserve. Well, Leo isn't the nicest guy in Twin Peaks. You shouldn't be exploiting the crippled.
But Bobby said he doesn't want to exploit him.
Yes, only after he gets creeped out of the possibility that Leo's moving and maybe recuperating.
Yeah.
That was really weird. All of Bobby's dialogue at that point, I feel like, I don't know, there were some weird choices being made because I don't understand what he was doing.
What do you mean?
Well, he's talking about not wanting to exploit it, but I don't know if it's like he didn't get what he was saying or there's something that I'm completely missing because I don't understand who that's for.
Yeah.
Do you feel he's losing some of his industriousness, Brad?
I just feel like maybe he got some script pages at the last minute and didn't know what the hell he was saying. Because I don't know, it seems like, from looking at the lines, it sounds like they should almost be sarcastic, but they're not at all.
No.
You're talking about the lines like, "Oh, we don't want to exploit him" and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it contradicts everything he's doing.
Right. He's not saying it ironically. He's not saying it because he's scared of Leo. He's just saying it in a really honest, genuine tone.
Well, I took it as he was saying it as because he was scared of Leo and he was trying to be as honest as he could in case Leo was hearing him. That's how I took it. But
And he's trying to impress Shelley too.
I don't think it's hard to impress Shelley.
All it takes is
I think you could have a nice car.
Yeah.
Mm.
Nice car and a ponytail.
By the way, how convenient is that ponytail
For putting his face at the cake.
to pull his face out of the cake? That was awesome.
Yes.
Finally, a reason for awful hair.
Yeah. What do you got next, Kate?
We're back to Gordon Cole again.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He's not very good at being quiet.
No.
No.
They seem to have a good working relationship, though. They really enjoy each other.
I like their chemistry.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they've been working together since Dune, so.
Yeah, that's true.
It's true.
What do you think was up with the small Mexican Chihuahua line?
I don't know.
Chihuahua.
I've watched this episode 3 or 4 times now, and I choose to ignore it.
It's not Chihuahua, man. It's Chihuahua.
Oh yeah, okay.
Or if you are a fan of Les Nessman, it's Chihuahua.
What?
Yeah, what do you guys think it is, Brad and Caitlin?
I have no clue.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything behind it.
I wasn't sure at first, the first time I watched the series either, but it's not really a spoiler, but you find out later that Gordon's kind of a fan of using code to relay his messages to his FBI guys. So
But I think it's like kind of like code that nobody knows.
yeah, it's
about.
ridiculous code. Like if this is code, like some of his code he uses later is way worse than this. This is just one line, but so yeah, I think it's probably code for something. Because if you look at Cooper's face when he was listening, he's like, he almost has a knowing look, like.
But he still looks confused.
He looks confused, but almost like like he knows.
It's like he knows that there's something that he's trying to tell him.
Well, he calls him on it later. He's like, "What's this about a Chihuahua?"
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, I think he was gonna say, well, yeah, I don't know. I could be wrong.
No, you're probably right.
Oh, and we get thumbs up. I think we're up to 10 and 11.
I don't think I saw a thumbs up. I thought it was an A-OK sign.
Well, they do that too.
I'm surprised Gordon didn't go out and get some donuts.
Yeah, that is the symbol. Yeah. But yeah, they do thumbs up at each other, and then once they're in the little room, they do the A-OK.
Mm.
I think that was 10 and 11. If I'm wrong, someone will correct me, I'm sure.
And there's another like Get Smart reference with the there's kind of like a cone of silence situation going on there. He's talking loud because he thinks nobody can hear him, but everybody can hear him.
Yeah.
I think he just has one volume, and he hopes that the wall will dampen him.
Yeah.
Something happened to Coop in Pittsburgh.
He went down the chute.
Maybe that's more code.
So that's probably related to his partner again.
Wyndham Earl.
Wyndham Earl.
It's a good name.
It's an excellent name. My favorite name of the series.
Oh, really?
Yes. I never remember how to spell it.
Well, that's funny. I was watching with the subtitles on so I could get quotes and stuff, and I would have thought it would be spelled in the traditional way, Wyndham, which is sort of really nice and elegant looking, but in the subtitles it's spelled Windom.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
That's how it's spelled.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
That's the trailer park way of saying it.
I'm hoping that's just an error on someone's subtitling.
Yeah.
There's a band from around here called Wyndham Earl.
Nice.
Yeah.
So he gets a chess move in the mail. It's pretty clear they're setting up a new villain to
An
meet.
elaborate chess move killer.
You know, this reminds me of the old 1960s Batman, where there was in fact a villain that had chess pieces as minions, and I forget the exact name, but I'm sure I can find.
I don't remember that guy.
Oh man, you should post that on the Facebook group if you find it.
I remember.
Find a video.
I remember Egghead and King Tut. I don't remember chess.
Ooh, you can get a Dark Knight chess set.
Anything else there, or do you want to move on to Leland and Ben?
I love this scene.
So Leland and Ben get back to work.
Of course they do.
Yes.
He's so obviously still unstable though. Like he's like,
No.
I will rehire you, but first I must test your abilities. He's just like doing all this odd stuff.
Well, I don't know. He doesn't seem that crazy.
I
All he
don't
did
know.
was pocket some like minx fur.
Was that a minx or a fox?
I don't know
couldn't
what
tell.
it was.
Looked like a
you'd
white
think that-
fox to me.
Yeah, did too. Yeah.
You'd think that Leland must be like the greatest lawyer in the entire state at this point.
Because he keeps getting so many chances.
Yeah, so many. Like, Ben Horton has all of this money. He can just endorse a random check to Josie, but he can't find a new lawyer.
I think they're kind of friends, too. Even though he wants to kill him.
I think
he's going to want to kill him again by the end of the episode. Spoilers.
I think he's just kidding.
Well, he has a lot of shifty business going on too, and Leland seems to be sort of up in the know for some of it.
Yeah.
And it'd take a long time to vet a new person, I bet. So we have a lovely scene with Josie and Harry now.
Was it really lovely? Is that sarcasm?
No, it was not lovely. It was so painful. I didn't need to see that. I don't even want to talk about it.
Wow, the hate for Josie.
It's a really bad relationship.
Strong today.
And Harry's just like a whiny little boy. He's like, why? Why do you have to go?
Poor Harry.
Are you asking me to stay as police business? No. Okay, bye.
Should have. Yeah.
Yeah, he should have.
Yeah.
So do you guys think she's just I'm gonna say a good actress, quote unquote, like to Harry, or does she actually love him?
I think she actually loves him.
We're talking about the character?
I'm talking about the character,
Okay.
yeah.
I think she loves him.
Yeah, I think there's genuine feelings there.
I think there's intended to be genuine feelings between the two of them.
Yeah.
Intended.
Intended.
Underline that word, yeah.
I just don't believe any of their relationship at all.
No.
It's arctically cold and wooden.
Yeah.
Well, it might be because both of the actors are slightly, well, Harry especially is kind of wooden.
He's one note for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
You see him get angry later in the series a couple times. Wait till you see his angry face. It's ridiculous.
Matt, spoiler.
People have emotions.
Just kidding.
It's not.
Come on now. We don't want to be spoiled on people's faces.
I don't want to know if Harry's going to feel feelings.
No.
I had a huge bet going. Aww.
Ruined.
Mr. Lee, leave us alone.
And he does. Why?
Yeah, he could have
Because he's
killed
playing
Harry.
the part of Mr. Lee.
He doesn't want to blow up his cover.
He said he could kill Harry though, and he threatened to earlier.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to get in unnecessary trouble.
Doesn't want to make a mess.
Yeah.
But don't you think that with all this going on and with her being, she doesn't want to leave, would you really want to leave Josie alone with the lawman?
Yeah.
Just on the off chance that she could completely blow this thing up?
Maybe they have an arrangement.
Oh, I forgot about the arrangements.
Yeah.
I think Josie probably has too much at stake in whatever this complicated arrangement is.
Yeah. Can we talk about the new offering from K-Tel? Leland's Greatest Hits 2!
I still, he's not crazy, right? He's just singing.
He's just singing. Although Ben
why
thinks
can't a
he's trying
person-
to mount a temporary insanity defense.
Yeah.
Or medium-term insanity defense.
Why can't a person sing in this town without being called crazy?
Express their joy.
Yeah.
He's not showing the proper decorum that I guess
Yes.
he should have.
Yes.
Well, if you'll remember, in 1989, in the Northwest, it was a different time, and people just weren't free to sing like they are now. It was dark days.
It was very infectious, though. I started singing along myself.
Yes. Then the grunge revolution happened, and people wanted people to stop singing for an entirely different reason.
And we get Pete and Tojamura.
Oh, Pete got totally shot down.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was like,
Is Pete trying to pick up Tojimura?
yeah.
Because secretly he knows that is Catherine.
Yes. Also, wait, can I just, can we backtrack a second?
Sure.
When, Mr. Tojamura is talking to Ben, and she's like, my parents were in Nagasaki. I'm sorry, my parents were in Nagasaki. Really? Mr. Tojamura? Really? You're gonna pull the Nagasaki card?
Yes.
That just seems a little much.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you're gonna make up an origin for yourself, do you really have to put that in? I'm sorry, Mr. Tojamura, that's your life story. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Maybe he just wanted Ben to shut up.
Every
boy.
single Japanese impersonation is based on Tashimura-san. My whole life, I've been channeling Tashimura-san. Yes.
But I like Pete asks if Tojimura likes musicals and Fiddler on the Roof made him weep like a baby.
I love Pete.
Yeah, he's like, you want some sake? And then he's like, no. And he's like, how about some milk? And he's just got this huge jug of stein of milk all of a sudden.
No, thank you.
I love Pete. My God, that was the best.
Pete's the
Who directed
best.
this episode?
It was Leslie Linka Glatter.
Yes.
It's a very strange name. Sorry, Leslie.
I was just gonna say, because I felt like with the Pete scenes especially, they clearly picked like the wackiest takes, I think. Or at least I hope. Because each one of them, each cut starts with him like with a really jerky action. Which is awesome,
I love his
wonderful.
face.
Yes.
But
But I feel like they definitely picked the funniest and the weirdest.
he's got a good face for expressions.
Yes.
Mostly confuzzled expressions. But
Yeah.
Let's get to the completely normal and boring end of this episode, shall we?
Yeah, okay. There's not much to say about that. Just a guy talking through PVC piping.
You mean a homemade didgeridoo?
So what's going on with Mike? Is he schizo?
Feels the change.
Yeah. Is he a schizo? Is he possessed?
I would love if he
There
was
is
just
no
crazy.
need for medication.
You
I am not in pain.
You
That was awesome.
yeah.
Yes.
I remember first watching that when it was aired live, and I'm like, holy shit! Inhabiting spirits? What?
So do you take that as at its word, everyone? Inhabiting spirits, or do you think he's just schizo?
It has to be a spirit. Come on.
Okay.
For the integrity of the show.
Yeah. Can I just say, the face of God purifies and leads to self-amputation.
Oh my.
People say we were made in God's image or whatever, so maybe God only has one arm.
Oh.
He's just
good
trying to
point.
even things out.
I wouldn't be worshipping this god if it made me chop off an arm.
I'm better than you. I've got 2 arms.
Apparently it was the killing arm.
Clearly, we are superior than this god.
We each are born with a killing arm and a healing arm. And the arm that wins is the arm we feed, or the arm we don't chop off. Who else fully expected that old-timey cut to the stock clip of the Great Northern was going to end the Great Northern was going to end with dun dun dun?
It kind of did, didn't it?
So they talked to Mike about Bob. Bob was Mike's familiar.
What does that mean?
Boyfriend?
We were
I
quite
think that was
familiar.
code for boyfriend.
Yes, we were quite familiar, me and Bob. Bob and I.
So I take it that they're the same thing, the same kind of weirdo spirit parasite. So does this mean that Mike at one point fed on fear and the pleasures?
I think so.
Yeah.
And you're saying that wrong.
So-
It's pleasure.
Pleasure.
Oh, of course.
For fans of snuff.
It's like 3 U's.
Pleasure.
So what does he feed on now? What's he surviving on?
Shoes. He probably ate Gerard's arm.
If I could just read here from Wikipedia, which as we all know is true. Familiar spirit. In European folklore and folk belief of the medieval and early modern periods, familiar spirits, sometimes referred to simply as familiars, were supernatural entities believed to assist witches and cunning folk in their practice of magic.
Yeah, but can a spirit have a familiar? If Mike is a spirit?
See, this is my thinking. I was wondering if they're the same kind of thing, or when he said familiar, it immediately made me think that maybe like Bob was like his underling.
But then he said they were partners.
His apprentice?
Well, hopefully all will be revealed.
Yeah, I was just wondering pretty much the same thing, whether I thought that he was more of an inhabiting spirit or just a split personality, and I would like to go with inhabiting spirit. But I think that, I don't know, it kind of makes me, I can't think of any specific like stories at the moment, but okay, or maybe a comparison I can give is like, okay, we have like in Superman, and Superman came to Earth, and then in all the movies we have all the bad guys who came to the Earth, and so they sort of have their supernatural powers. Superman uses his for good, and the bad guys are using theirs for bad, and so this is kind of what these guys are. they're kind of these supernatural creatures that just choose their paths a little differently, and so Bob is like just pure, I don't know, mischief, and Mike is trying to sort of control him and keep him at bay.
So if Bob had been raised in a Kansas farm, we'd be okay.
Yes.
He wants to stop Bob, and he says only the gifted and the damned can see Bob. So
he looks at Cooper when he says gifted, but he looks straight forward when he says damned. And I was so hoping that somebody would be there.
It just cuts
to Harry
or Andy. Yeah.
Anyone really.
Yeah.
Luckily, but I will say that Hawk was directly behind him, so Hawk is the opposite of damned.
He says a little poem about Bob.
He is Bob.
Well, so that might be someone's quote, yeah. And he says they've been around for around 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he says that he likes this form. Now, are we to imply that Bob's been, like... Can he jump forms, or is he, like... Are they stuck to one as a parasite? Because I think that would be fun if Bob is, like hopping bodies, or... Because we've seen, like, the vision with the owl. Yeah. So is Bob hopping into owls and then into people and just, making the rounds?
Cannot speak.
I would like to think...
I can neither confirm nor deny this theory.
I would like to think that he can move around and that he's able to go where he wants to go.
But if he is able to move around, you would almost think that he would need the right conditions or something for something to happen. I don't know, I've seemed to have seen stuff like this before in other TV shows where it's like, they need the exact right conditions to happen and then they can, enter the body or whatever.
It would be very confusing if he could just hop whenever he wants and he's like, he's over there, no, he's over there, he's over there.
Yeah,
you never catch the guy.
Well, I have seen that before, and that wasn't too bad.
I wonder what kind of specific conditions you would need.
Are they winning conditions, like in Quebec?
So who has seen Torchwood?
Not I.
Which one?
The episode where there's the alien who feeds off the orgasmic energy.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, but
that would be a fun twist.
Well, he does enjoy the pleasures.
Yeah, if Bob
Pleasure.
Bob feeds on fear and pleasure, then maybe he can only, like, if he does enter people, he can only enter them, like, when they feel both those feelings.
Or one, or maybe...
I don't know.
If that is indeed how it works.
I don't know. I have no clue.
Oh yeah, they describe something here. The Great Northern, apparently.
Or what Cooper deduces to be the Great Northern.
Yeah, so apparently.
Dun, dun, dun!
Yeah.
Turns out it's the other hotel in town that no one talks about. It's really run down, full of criminals. It's the one that One-Armed Man was staying at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the end of my notes. Everybody else done too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ratings next. I will give it... I think I gave the last episode the same thing. Maybe I'll give this one... I was going to give it an 8.5, but this episode's a little bit better than the last one, I think. I'll give it a 9 out of 10 invalid husbands.
Nice.
Yes, it introduced Gordon Cole. I love Gordon Cole. And Mike being creepy was awesome. But a minus was the Mill/Josie intrigue. It's not intriguing at all.
No.
Same rating, 9 out of 10 Fox Fur Pocket Lints. Yeah, Gordon Cole's always a plus for me too. I always instantly add 1,000,000 points. Maybe
a million points.
Yeah. 1,000,000 points that I don't count.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like the good little bits of stories that are moving the show along nicely in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that
Even
the episode didn't really... But yeah, it didn't really stall, though. Everything moved along, like Josie left and, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it moved along very nicely.
Yeah.
And yeah, Creepy Mike, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to give this 7.5 Mexican Chihuahuas out of 10. Are you thinking of the half Chihuahua?
Delectable.
Yeah, it just wasn't a really riveting episode. Maybe there was just too much Josie in it for me. She was in every other scene.
She did bring it down a bit.
But I did like the ending there. That was kind of exciting.
All right.
I'd say for me, the ending made it an excellent episode, even though there were parts of it that I just despised. Although looking back at them, I kind of find them either annoying or funny, especially when Mr. J is involved. I'm gonna give this episode 9 out of 10 familiars.
Nice. All right. I think I'm a little bit lower this week than everybody. I feel bad. I think I'm gonna go
Own it.
7 out of 10 cripple kazoos. I feel like, I mean, the end was great. The end was absolutely great, but all the Josie stuff was horrific. And the opening, when we rushed through the Harold Smith thing, which was such a big part of the last episode, and now we're just done with it.
I won't bore you with the details of their escape.
I escaped somehow. Let's go.
Could have been better. Could have been better.
Yeah.
Forget the diary.
Still like this.
Do you think we've seen the last of Harold Smith?
I hope not. If we have, then I am pissed off that character exists.
Let's do some quotes then.
I know which quote Brad has.
Do you?
I will forego that one, and I will insist to go first and not use the one I think Brad has.
Okay.
I'm still looking. I don't know if I have it.
Well, I can give it to you, Brad, if you want.
What is it?
So could I. I find adherence to fantasy troubling and unreasonable.
Damn it. Didn't write that down.
Doc Hayward said you needed familiar stimulus, so we figured, what the hell, kazoos.
That doesn't make any sense.
No.
Well, that we know of. Unless he's...
Familiar stimulus.
Oh.
Ooh.
Does he have some sort of fetish?
Ooh.
He's a kazoo enthusiast. Hope I didn't steal anyone's with
Matt,
this.
you
What?
need to do the James quote.
Well,
Terrible one.
I'll let Brad go. I don't want to steal whatever
go
he's
Brad.
done.
God, I don't have it written. Okay, what is my
starts
quote
with-
again?
He is Bob.
It's the poem.
Oh, yes, absolutely. He is... Wait, let me get my tube.
Okay.
Hey.
I'll pretend to have a tube. He is Bob, eager for fun. When he wears a smile, everybody run.
Excellent.
All right, I'm going to go with Federal Bureau of Investigation Regional Bureau Chief Gordon Cole. That's a real mouthful, but I can't hear myself anyway.
Can I do
I'm
my
glad he
honorable
acknowledges that.
Yeah.
mentions? Is it time for honorable mentions?
Yes. Well, and actually, did you do one, Mel?
No, I didn't yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. The exchange between Harry and Cole. Harry? Vicuna? Sounds real good, Sheriff, but I already ate.
Go ahead, Alirio.
My second favorite was, I take these to car.
Take these to car.
I take these to car.
Matt, you have to do one of the James quotes.
No, Mr. J?
Mr. J, I'm sorry.
Do one of the J quotes.
Yeah. The when you love someone.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to make the way my heart feels last forever.
I like this one, too.
What?
This one.
When you love someone, it's like this bright light is shining on you all the time. You like it, but I just don't think I can't read your writing.
I just don't think you could be that way all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I can't eat corn dogs every day, even though I really love corn dogs.
Does anybody else have anything they want to do?
Well, I've got this delightful little exchange between Mr. J and Maddie. He says, but it was wrong. It wasn't one thing or the other. For a while, I get to be somebody different. But now I'm just me again. You lose on both counts.
I have another one. What about Leo Johnson wife beater? Now there's a guy I want to party with.
Yeah. I have one from Harry, surprisingly. I just thought you'd ought to know. We can hear everything you're saying out in the hall.
Come on in, Harry. Why don't you invite the sheriff in, Cope?
All right.
Also, wait, oh.
Go ahead.
I love my quotes. I'm sorry, guys.
Go ahead,
I
go
love
ahead.
the quotes. What terrible things you must have seen. I saw so much. We'll sort it out together. Yes, Daddy. You and I.
He doesn't look like he's catching on to that at all.
No.
He's-
She's so obvious, though.
yeah. He's like, that's fine. That's great, honey.
Yeah.
Nice, dear.
So who killed Laura Palmer?
I know.
Who is it?
For you.
Shush you.
Okay. Someone commented on the posting of the last episode we put up, and he thought that it might be a little disappointing if, as I thought, it was someone from the second season with all the build-up in like the first season. And I don't think necessarily so, because they set up his character pretty well. There had to be someone who was like the big bad behind all the drug dealing and stuff, and and Jean Reno is the brother of two fairly, I don't know, kind of softer characters.
Yeah.
And I personally, I don't think I'd be disappointed, though I don't know, it might be a little bit of a letdown, and I wouldn't say that it's something that's unreasonable for them to do in the show.
Okay. So you wouldn't mind if it was a second season character like Jean Reno?
Yeah.
All right.
So are you saying it is Jean Reno?
You still think it's him?
Yeah, I couldn't really come up with anyone else who I thought was more of the killer in the last episode, so I'm gonna stick with Jean Reno.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna put second season in the mix, then well, I think Dick Tremaine is very suspicious.
You notice that I don't switch my fork from my left hand to my right hand.
It's the European way.
It reminds me of the way I killed a girl one time.
With my dazzling smile.
I killed her with my charms.
It's feedback time. We got one from Scott Schneider for the last episode we did. There was a mix-up, and I led him to believe that he was submitting for the previous episode, but so he sent this in. Okay, first things first. Best line, bar none, in this episode is Andy's iconic, "I'm a whole damn town." This really was an interesting episode. We had Andy making a courtroom sketch of the back of Leland's head, Leland being released of his own recognizance, and a judge determining the fate of Leo Johnson via a conference call at the bar, only in Twin Peaks. Okay, question time. What's up with all the hand-drawn maps in this episode? What do you think Andy heard when he called Lucy's sister? What was the... Didn't we hear what he heard?
I thought we absolutely heard what he heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Abortion clinic, yeah.
What?
Oh,
That's not what you heard, Alirio?
No.
oh my god.
Yes, that's what I heard.
What was the purpose in prowling around incognito in black if Cooper and company planned on casually entering the premises?
Excellent question.
Yeah. And poor Harold. Someone forgot to tell him there was blood on the rake before he decided to mutilate his face.
It's probably infected now.
Oh, man.
See you next week, kids. Same bat time, same bat channel. Keep up the good work. So what's with all the hand-drawn maps? It's before Google Maps.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, you have to remember, the internet was not available to most residences until at the earliest 1994.
Yeah.
So we're still working on hand-drawn maps, and there are people using plotters and all kinds of stuff.
They're probably just getting the internet now in Twin Peaks.
Yeah, just now.
Yes, just
Like 2011 now.
Yeah. You want to do Matthias, Caitlin?
Okay. Hi, everybody. I really love when another podcast is posted during the weekend. Then I watch the next episode during breakfast. Episode 13 was posted pretty late, and I had to watch episode 13, according to the DVD. To me, it's 14, at night, and I knew it would freak me out. That last scene is still pretty creepy. What do you think about Mike's little speech? Did anything remind you of what the giant had told Cooper? What do you think Bob is? I like how he writes Bob, just all in capital letters, sort of almost as if it looks like an acronym. Harold turns out to be an impersonator in this episode. First, he does his famous Freddy Krueger impersonation, and tonight I discovered that he even did the Screaming Bob from episode 8, 9 if you count the pilot. Great job, Matthias.
So, what did he say there? Did anything remind you of what the giant has told Cooper? I can't think of anything the giant said that got brought up here. Can you guys?
Well, he is kind of like secretive about who he is, just like the giant.
Yeah.
My question is, so is there a chance that maybe Mike is the giant? They are one and the same. He just jumped out of a one-armed man for a second to be like, "Hey, here I am."
Possibly.
But he had two arms, so.
I think that they give off a totally different vibe, and they're not the same at all.
Okay. Different kinds of beings.
Yes. I think the giant is a bit of a higher being.
Okay. Thanks for that, Matthias. Claire Laffar is up next. You want to get that one, Brad?
Sure.
Looks like a big one.
It's always
All right. I'm ready for this. Many years of theatrical cold reading ready to pay off. Hi, guys, and bonus Alirio. We are already at the halfway point in the series. Hasn't it flown by? It has. Unusually, we get a scene in this episode before the credits finish rolling. Donna has contaminated Harold because she is unclean. What are your thoughts on this? I love that James rescues Maddie first. Aha, take that, Donna.
Yeah. Then he leaves them both behind, as you pointed out.
Yeah.
I will trip a bitch.
Yikes! It is creepy that they do that before the credits. I thought that was really weird. Forgot about that. They just wanted it done with.
Yeah.
This episode is also the return of Joey Paulson.
Oh, yeah.
Plus another unnamed biker bookhouse boy shows up. Does this mean that the entire biker population of Twin Peaks has been initiated into the bookhouse boys? I like the fact that in Twin Peaks all the bikers seem rather more cuddly than rough.
That's true.
Cooper and Audrey get a moment in the bookhouse. Cooper and Audrey forevers. Heart. Coop loses his composure a few times in this episode. He even says, "Damn it." It certainly helps make the character a lot more human. We can see that he is visibly rattled by Wyndham Earle's note. His and Ben's hug is hilarious. Coop looks thoroughly disgusted by Ben's behavior, and quite rightly so. Just You is back. Now they're playing into the bookhouse, too, by the sound. Get some new records, guys. I'm sure Leland's got a good selection of jaunty tunes at home you can borrow. What is with the sudden plaid invasion at Shelley's house? Her jacket, the insurance guy's jacket, and Leo's blanket. I love that he mentions childproofing the sockets when the house is pretty much a building site anyway. There's probably a bigger danger of him suffocating in plastic.
Yeah.
I must admit that I cheer every time when Gordon Cole arrives. He fills the Albert-shaped hole in my heart. The character is named after an incidental character in Billy Wilder's Sunset Boulevard. Oh, so it is. Of which David Lynch is a fan. Great movie. Cooper's finger click when he clocks Cole is one of my favorite moments from this episode. Everyone is still calling Gerard the one-armer. Cole even points at him and says, "There's the one-armer. Gordon, I love you, but you might want to get a few lessons in political correctness." It was a different time.
Yes.
Oh, 1989. I know you will disagree, Matt, but I love the Nadine Ed scene.
I came around.
That's right, your cold heart is melting.
just that one time.
His face when she punches him is hilarious. And I love her ninja cat pounce onto the sofa, too. Also, her Horns department store bag was a nice little detail. The bandstand of angst is back. And as we all know by now, a mopey James scene is never far behind. The Josie Ben scene was cute and really well played by both Richard Maimer and Joan Chen.
I respectfully disagree.
I don't know about that.
But I'm biased and racist.
That is true.
I'm sorry, guys. I actually kind of agree with Claire.
What? You like?
I kind of did like that scene, yeah.
Really?
I like the idea of
Fine.
it.
Everyone's entitled to an opinion. Doesn't matter.
It's one of the few times, and this is Claire speaking, not myself. It's one of the few times I actually really like Josie's character. I wish we got to see more of this manipulative behavior and less of the meek little victim. There's a clown picture on Leo's wall. Why?
It's so fitting.
Clowns are the creepiest thing ever. I can't really say anything else about this scene. The mix of horror with Leo's head moving and the humor with the cake is why I love this show as much as I do.
Yes.
Did they steal it from who was it? Jacques' house?
Yeah, he had a clown made out of leaves, didn't he?
Maybe he inherited it.
Yeah.
His will.
Yeah. Jacques willed it to Leo.
Left him that's all you get, Leo. That's all you get.
Dear Leo, we had so many exciting times. I would like to bequeath to you my collection of clown paintings.
I bet you he wrote that on the back of the painting, too. To all our six-sided times.
Why is your Jacques Renault retarded, Brad?
That's the way they do it.
All right.
Actually, Jacques Renault didn't even sound French.
That's true. He just kind of mumbled. If the guy Leland speaks to during his sing-song is from Twin Peaks, why is he staying at the Great Northern?
He might not be staying there. He might just be going there for dinner.
Yeah, there's a restaurant.
That's true. They only have that one other restaurant. And why is Pete drinking milk there?
He could just drink it at home.
Yeah.
He's lonely. His house is so cold and lonely now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And creepy Jonathan's there all the time. I love Pete and Tajimura's conversation about musicals. It's the one time I actually liked the Tajimura character. If Pete had referenced West Side Story, it would have been perfect.
When you are a jet all the way.
One of my other favorite moments in this episode is right at the end when Gerard says the line, "The gifted and the damned." The way that he looks directly into the camera when he says "the damned" gives me chills each time. What are your thoughts on the idea that Bob is an inhabiting spirit?
Everybody's writing Bob in all capitals.
That's right. Are you pleased by this new revelation? Do you think Gerard could be lying? Why is Bob in capital letters?
Mysterious.
Should Mike be in all capital letters too?
I don't think I've ever seen Mike all capital letters, no.
I'm Mike, the mysterious intergalactic
Keeper of enemas.
Oh, no. Nobody wants to be
Keeper
that.
of enigmas.
Yeah, I was going to correct you and
thank
say
you.
Yeah, there we go.
his would work better. What's Bob stand for? Battery operated.
Butcher.
All right, where were we?
Bad old something. I don't know.
Bastard.
Bad old bastard. Yeah.
Bad old bastard.
You sound
So do
lame,
we think Gerard
Joan
could be
Chen.
lying?
I don't
Gerard
think
be
Mike is
lying?
lying. Mike is not a liar. The guy
You
cut
know-
his own arm off so he wouldn't kill anymore. Why would he lie?
Maybe Bob cut his arm off.
No, I don't think that happened.
Who cuts off their own arm because a god tells them to?
Who chops off his ear to impress a lady?
People with mental instabilities.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes.
No matter how
It's not a
talented they
liar.
All right, so yes, that lots of exposition in this episode and developments galore. It also has some of my favorite moments from the season so far, so I will award it 8 weird close-ups of Mag's crotch out of 10. Because really, what was that close-up all about?
I didn't notice.
It was kind of like a treasure trail close-up.
What?
There was. I
Oh.
remember it.
Was it when he was like putting on his clothes?
Yeah. He's doing
I
a
love
belt.
I love the past 2 weeks Claire's been on crotch watch.
Yeah.
You guys are stealing another part of our show? Holy moly.
You guys have crotch watch?
We have Bra Watch.
Yeah, I know.
Really?
Well, we stole that from the 11th Hour podcast.
Yes, it's time travel, yeah.
Oh, and she closes out, I'm really looking forward to guessing with you guys next episode. Have a great holiday, Mel and Matt.
Yeah,
Claire.
thanks.
I am not looking forward to that, Claire, because I wanted that episode.
Oh.
It's my favorite episode of the entire series.
Oh, really?
Ooh, snookered!
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I don't know if I told you guys, but we're going on vacation for a week and a half, starting this weekend. We'll have to do the other one in a few weeks from now, if that's okay with you guys.
So I'm going to have to wait to hear you guys talk about my favorite episode.
Yep.
And I'm gonna either have to wait to watch it, or watch it and then wait.
Yes.
I recommend...
Wait a week.
I think you should wait to watch it.
Oh,
We'll be back.
We're
in,
coming
like-
back 2 Wednesdays from now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you bastards.
All right. So that's the end of our feedback. Thanks, Claire, as always. So do you want to pimp your stuff again, Alirio?
You can listen to me on PotentialCast, which is available at PotentialCast.com. It is a Buffy the Vampire Slayer retrospective where myself and 2 other of the 4 co-hosts are first-time viewers of Buffy, so we're spoiler-free on it, just like this show is doing. You can also listen to me on Yip Yip, the Last Airbender podcast. That's brand new. Jamie and I are doing a Avatar the Last Airbender retrospective. We do 2 episodes at a time, once every other week or so. It's nice and relaxed, and we discuss this really awesome animated series. And every once in a while, I put out a pausecast with my partner Christine, although it's been on pause for quite a long time right now. But we endeavor to do it again.
Cool.
Cool. Avatar's a good show.
Mm-hmm.
We really owe Alirio and the Potential Cast guys some big thanks for letting us borrow their format.
Oh no! Apparently, Steph stole it from someone else too. So
Oh, okay. Oh,
at least you guys give us credit.
screw you guys then.
Don't you know, Matt? Nothing's original anymore.
Yeah, it's true. There's no new ideas.
No.
Yeah, I hear someone's gonna reboot our podcast very soon.
Actually, there's a couple other ones now, isn't there? There's like the Psych podcast that's doing the same thing, and there's the Fisher
And
Cast.
There's Fisher Cast with Robin and some others.
We should get like a Potential Cast network going.
Oh yeah, the Potential Cast podcasting network.
Yes.
Totally.
Someone should make a Facebook group for that. combine all the audience for all 4 shows.
Combine forces.
Yes.
Yes. There very well might be a Belvedere cast coming out. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, so I heard.
Oh, Brad, where can people hear you, Brad?
Oh, wow. Okay. You can catch me on the Ramjack podcast, which is fun times. We have good times. We do whatever we like.
Yeah,
and at some point in the future,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
We might start talking about Mr. Belvedere. I can't make any promises. That's really, really up in the air. But join us. We have fun. We have a new Facebook group. Go there.
So thanks for being on, Alirio.
Oh, thank you guys for having me. It's been a pleasure, as always.
And you're on one other time, I think, for the
the finale.
series finale.
My God, Alirio, you're a mooch.
I just get that one.
I am a greedy son of a bitch.
So next time is episode 15. And we'll see you all then. So bye, everyone. Bye.
Au revoir.
Bye.
Bye.
Everybody run.
Thanks for listening. Check us out on twitter.com/TwinPeaksCast. Search for the Twin Peaks Podcast group on Facebook. And visit us on twinpeakspodcast.blogspot.com. Email your feedback to twinpeakspodcast@gmail.com.
Here's a tune for you guys. Okay. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.